In one of my videos, I spoke about how I study 4 hours. But just what if this is not only not for you, but it also causes you to get burnt out? Well, just keep on watching this video.
I would like to get to know if it could be.
In this video, we are going to be discussing how to avoid burnout, what to do if you already are burnt out, some self-doubt tips, and how to avoid burnout even though you have a lot to do. Now, the first few tips that I'm going to give you are tips on how to avoid burnout. So you just started studying, exams have just started, it's hectic. There is a lot going on and you're trying to multitask, you're trying to keep up with the things that are happening. You are under a lot of pressure, there's a lot of pressure for you to perform, and you have too many people to impress. Now, how do you make sure that you get all that work done without actually having a burnout? Now, what you can do in this instance is break your studying into smaller chunks. Make sure that you are not studying too many hours if you're not able to focus for long hours. Do a Pomodoro type of method where you study for 20 to 30 to 50 minutes and then you take a break. And in those regular breaks that you take, you move completely away from academics. You are not doing anything that has to do with school. I know sometimes when you're studying and your clock hits to say, take a break, KOKETSO, it's not too easy to phase out and go on and take a break. But you need this in order to avoid a burnout. You need to take a break where you completely detach from academics. In this break that you're taking, you're completely detaching from academics. You're doing anything sporting, anything that is your hobby, whether it's cooking, fishing, playing basketball, playing football, whatever it is that you do in your spare time. You're trying to just get your mind off school in order to gain some mental sanity. Another thing that you can do is to make sure that you always stay hydrated and you eat healthy meals, because this fair balance of a diet, it'll really help in the optimal level of your brain. Making sure that you eat the right amounts of the right types of foods will make sure that your brain functions properly and at an optimal level, which will then allow you to be able to do your thing, you know? It'll allow you to be able to do your thing. Some of you do not realize that actually eating healthy and having a very balanced and fairly adequate diet allows your brain to function properly at an optimum level, to allow faster processing of information, to make you more alert and just give you a fairly good memory. And that is why you really need to prioritize eating well, especially during these exams as you're trying to avoid a burnout. But now, what if you're already burnt out? If you're already feeling like you're burnt out, the best thing to do is to move away, find yourself. The best thing to do is to stay away from academics, give yourself a day off. You deserve a break, you've done a lot. The fact that you actually got to that level of burning out should actually show you that you've actually done your level best and you've actually exceeded that level best, massively so, otherwise you wouldn't feel a burnout. You can actually do something that is as outgoing as going out for a walk, out in the wild, in the nature, I don't know. When you're already within this feeling of being burnt out, the best thing to do is to actually take your mind off things. Do some relaxing activity, whether it's taking a hot bath, taking a cold shower. I don't know if that's relaxing for you, but just do something that will allow you to really detach completely from academics. This then serves as a reset button. Go out and play a football game if you're me. Have a chat with friends, have a healthy conversation with those around you. Talk to someone about it and it should get, if not fully healed, it should get a bit better. And now on the realistic part of life, what if now you're not burnt out, you're not yet burnt out, but you just have a lot to do. There is a lot to do in a short space of time. And your work has to get done. This is very realistic, and most of us really find ourselves being in that situation. But there's actually a way that you can actually try to navigate through this without getting burnt out, for the very least. It is quite important to make sure that when you have a lot of things to do in a short space of time, you make a list of the things that you have to do and then set priorities, because now you need to come with a strategic approach to this. Your approach needs to be very strategic. Otherwise, you'll be wasting a lot of time. So what you can do now is take all your tasks and break them into smaller tasks. Look at them as long-term goals, and then, like, instead of saying, I have to study maths, I have to finish this topic. As soon as I'm done with this topic, I have to finish this topic. And if that topic seems big, look at it as a subtopic. Instead of, I have to look at life sciences, the ear, I have to look at functions of the ear. Once I've completed the functions, I have to look at hearing. Then I have to look at the diseases. I have to look at that. And as you do it like that, breaking it down allows your brain to actually process it. Okay, this is what we need to do, and then this follows, and this follows. Another thing that most of you actually fall into is the inability to set realistic goals for a certain time limit. I cannot give myself 3 hours to do, okay, I can't give myself 1 hour to complete the reading of a whole novel. There is no way. I can read, I can browse through, I can play an audiobook, but what is the probability rather, or the possibility that everything that I learned is actually engraved in my brain? And that's another thing that I actually want to say about this thing of having a lot of things to do. At times, you try to multitask, and that is wrong. That is a wrong thing to do, because when you multitask, you're not whole-brainly, I don't know what you call it with the brain, but the heart is wholeheartedly, but you're not whole-brainly giving that task your specific focus. So think about it in this way. We are studying physics, we are studying maths, we are studying life sciences. At the same time, we are planning a YouTube video. At the same time, we are on a phone call with someone. And at the same time, we're reading an English novel. What is the possibility that something that you learned in physics is actually in your head? You might have completed the things, you might have finished doing what you had to do, but what is the possibility that your efficient studying was actually effective? Just ask yourself that. Think about it. But now, despite all these practical, theoretical things that we actually faced with, some of the things that you tend to face as a student in any academic setting is self-doubt. Self-doubt is a real thing, and some of you are actually facing it right now. There are actually quite a number of ways that you can work around it, which should help you, in a sense, to work on the way that you do your things and just improve everything in general, you know? The first thing that you need to do is to acknowledge yourself. Acknowledge that it is normal to have self-doubt. Acknowledge that you're not the only person who is struggling with self-doubt. It is not really people's most favorite thing to deal with, but you need to realize that you need to be kind to yourself. You need to be kind to yourself because you're trying hard. The fact that you're getting to a point where you could almost get burnt out is simply because of the fact that you're trying a lot of things at the same time. You are doing a lot and you're doing your best. You're trying too hard. Another biggest thing that even I personally tend to fall prey to, even today, is the inability to focus on solely what you can control. You need to focus on what you can control. I do not control how the test comes out to be. I don't control how the exam is set out. But surely I should be able to control how I study. I should be able to control how prepared I am. So just don't focus on things that you cannot control. Don't try to think about, oh, what if the test is soon or what if it's later? Just start preparing now, because you can't control the date unless if your father works there or something. But focus on what you can control. And now the last thing that I need from you is I want you to practice self-compassion. Practice giving yourself affirmations. Look at all the positives. Think about how many things you have in your life that many people don't. And just be grateful. Take the time to be grateful. You can do journaling. You can find someone to talk to. Just practice self-compassion. Sitting down, reflecting, asking yourself, I have this, I have that. And if you think about it, the fact that you're able to watch this video shows that you're actually privileged enough to have the data to watch it. And that's actually one thing. Now, all you have to do is take this time to take your time to make sure that all these goals that you have in your mind come to reality. This academic game is not easy, but if there's one thing that I believe it is that surely you can do it. Because from what I know, for those who are believers, I want you to always know that if God brought you to it, then surely he will carry you through it. Just trust me when I say it'll all make sense one day. Just keep on going because the view is better from the top.
Nice.
And now you have reached the end of the video. Thank you for watching till the end of the video. If you're still watching right now, I really appreciate you. The channel is growing, as I always say, and I'm glad. I'm very happy. I have started this channel quite a few months ago, and so far it's actually coming right because I haven't been in this channel or doing this YouTube thing for a year. It's less than a year. It's way less than a year, but I'm already a few subscribers, not a few, but 200 subscribers of getting 2,000 subscribers, and I'm very grateful to you for that. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. But otherwise, this video was about you, this video was for you, and I hope that these tips really get engraved in your head. I just really hope that you take them into consideration, and even if you don't take all of them, just one or two to help you out. But otherwise, I love y'all. Peace.